Researchers in Egypt unearthed secret doors inside the Great Pyramid, and some archaeologists believe that these doors may be blocking the entrance to a hidden chamber. However, the door's true purpose has raised more concerns than it has answered thus far. The Great Pyramid is way more mysterious than we think they are. You're watching Secret World, where we will reveal the doors discovered inside the Great Pyramid. Let's start digging. Well, people have long been interested in the Great Pyramid of Khufu because it is the lone ancient marvel of the globe that is still standing today. One possible explanation is that the intricate design of Khufu's pyramid, particularly its inside, captivates visitors. In the 9th century AD, El-Mamun, son of Harun el-Rashid, constructed the pyramid's current entrance. The actual door is located up here. This hallway travels lower in the pyramid before joining another that leads higher to the royal bedrooms. The original shaft leads to a chamber right under the pyramid, which was never completed. Many theories have been proposed to explain the chamber's function and the pyramid's seeming intricacy. 1993 was the year of the Great Pyramid, the first time in an entire year to begin a serious scientific study on the pyramid. One pyramid would be closed each year while the other two would remain open as part of a proposal to strike a balance between conservation and tourism at Giza. The relative humidity inside the Great Pyramid was measured at 85% during restoration. Most of this was caused by visitors, who each contributed about 20 grams of water in the form of exhaled breath while inside the pyramid. In 1993, the Grand Gallery was plastered in salt from this water, and numerous fissures could be observed. Cleaning the pyramid and creating a method to permanently reduce humidity were both necessary. The air shafts in the third room, the so-called King's Chamber, were supposed to be cleaned out and outfitted with machinery to establish a ventilation system. The robot was also sent down into the so-called Queen's Chamber shafts, where it uncovered an exciting discovery. He reached a dead end at 208 feet in the south shaft, at what appeared to be a door or tiny stone with two copper handles. A fragment of the left handle, broken off in antiquity, lay about 6 feet in front of the door stone. The so-called Queen's Chamber's northern shaft was sealed off at about 27 feet. Gantenbrink posted his findings for the world to see. The work done by Gantenbrink on the shafts leading to the so-called Queen's Chamber was the most extensive of its kind. In September 1872, British engineer WAYNMAN DIXON found the entrances to the north and south shafts of the Queen's Chamber, marking the beginning of the study into these shafts. DIXON discovered a cavity behind the south wall after threading a wire through the porous masonry's cracks. He took a chisel and made his way through the wall, exposing the opening. He began searching for a shaft in the corresponding section of the north wall and eventually located one. There was a gentle breeze as he lit a candle and placed it in the southern shaft. DIXON and his partner James Grant discovered a little bronze hook in the south shaft. The northern well shaft recovered a granite ball and a piece of wood with a similar aroma to cedar. The artifacts were eventually dubbed the DIXON relics. The two collections of objects were found at the base of the diagonal shaft amidst the debris. After DIXON had the relics transported to England and recorded by the astronomer Royal Scotland, the artifacts vanished without a trace. On December 26, 1872, Nature published an article reporting on the find alongside a sketch of the artifacts. The ball and hook were eventually located after a search in 1993, and they are currently housed at the British Museum. Before 2001, nobody knew what happened to the missing piece of cedar-like wood. It was eventually located in Aberdeen's Marischal Museum. As they are moving, they have not yet identified it, but they are confident it is in their collection. In 1993, when Gantenbrink investigated the shaft, he found a long piece of wood resting in the downward sloping section. The piece of wood that DIXON discovered looked quite similar to this one in terms of its cross-section and overall appearance. A possible explanation for DIXON's reported short piece of wood is that it's separated from a longer one. One piece of evidence supporting this notion is a metal pole from the contemporary era that was discovered next to the wooden object. Since the pole isn't mentioned in any of DIXON's reports, it's safe to assume that it disappeared during the group's treasure hunting in the shaft. While handling the metal pole, they probably separated the smaller piece of wood from the larger one but failed to report the incident. Wood must have been left in the shaft when the pyramid was completed, given that the shaft was sealed. Hence, carbon dating the wood would allow a reliable date of the pyramid, so the argument goes. The exit, if present, could have been used after construction to introduce wood into the shaft. Various hypotheses have been proposed by Egyptologists to explain these shafts. Since they do not lead to the outside, the theory that they were utilized for ventilation is false. Some people think they have an astrological purpose by connecting the Minoris, Ursa, and Beta constellations to the northern and southern shafts, respectively. Stadelman is convinced that these vents are actually passages through which the king's spirit will reach the eternal light of the stars. The shafts leading to the so-called Queen's Chamber appear to have been sealed off on the inside. Like the king's chamber shafts, the third tomb's openings were sealed up, even though their sacred purpose demanded otherwise. These lead outside the pyramid. As the sun deity Ra, Khufu was supposed to use the southern shaft. There are 2 boat holes south of the pyramid, and the entrance to the south shaft is located precisely between them. Khufu would utilize one boat during the day and the other throughout the night as solar boats. The north shaft was constructed so that Khufu's spirit, incarnated as Horus, might journey to the heavens and return to Earth as the sun god. More investigation was required to determine the function of the shafts in the so-called Queen's Chamber. The German Institute in Cairo, which had the Great Pyramid concession, had no intention of finishing the shafts. Since Gantenbrink is an individual and concessions in Egypt can only be signed with institutions, the law prohibits signing the concession with him. Inside the step pyramid of Djoser, about 3.5 miles of tunnels, corridors, and rooms make up the pyramid's underpinnings. No film has ever revealed the interior, and no living Egyptologist has explored it. The robot was launched into the northern shaft a few days after the demonstration. Because of a bend in the shaft, neither Gantenbrink nor DIXON could go deeper than 27 feet. It has been determined that the shafts were cut after the Grand Gallery was built because of the bend taken to avoid intersecting it. After traveling 208 feet down this shaft, the Pyramid rover stopped in front of a second door with copper handles. It's the same place as the first door down the southern shaft and looks extremely similar. It's conceivable that there's yet another door precisely like this one just beyond this one. As with the southern shaft, this one is located 70 feet from the original. The initial doors on the north and south shafts have copper handles reminiscent of the ones on Tutankhamun's canopic jar box in the Cairo Museum. The canopic jars were dragged using ropes attached to the 2 copper handles. Doors made of fine white limestone from Tura appear to have been dragged within the shafts to the same spot using their handles. There are a lot of unanswered mysteries due to the existence of these portals in the Great Pyramid. The doors could represent a test the monarch must pass before proceeding to the next world. The copper doorknobs may have anything to do with the prophecy in the pyramid writings that the monarch will meet bolts before he goes. But if this is so, why are the doors only found in Khufu's pyramid? Where are they? And why aren't they in the pillars of the third room? They must know the location of the king's tomb. Those doorways could provide a clue to the location of Khufu's tomb inside the pyramid. The story of the Great Pyramid of Khufu was already fascinating, but these doors added a new layer of mystery. The second door in the south shaft is unlike the first, and the door in the north shaft is situated in the same spot as the one in the south shaft, although it looks similar and has 2 copper handles. That's for the video today. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.